Good evening. So I am going to do a quick little recipe video for you guys. I'm actually going to be making a family size Fathead pizza. Fathead pizza is super easy and there's 1,000,001 recipes on the internet for it. One of the things that I love about Fathead pizza, just like a lot of other keto recipes, is you can tweak the seasonings a little bit in the dry mixture to change the flavor. So today I'm making just a traditional pepperoni pizza, but sometimes I've done a Mexican pizza and added different seasonings to the flour mixture. So I hope you are in the mood to see some Pizza Friday in action. I know I am. I'm starving. I haven't eaten much today. Okay, here are the ingredients that you need for a Fathead pizza. We have olive oil, super fine blanched almond flour, white vinegar, seasonings, that's garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and parsley flakes, 2 eggs, pink Himalayan salt, then 3 cups of shredded mozzarella, half a block of cream cheese. Here's what it's gonna look like. Okay, first you're gonna take your 3 cups of shredded mozzarella and your half a block of cream cheese and put it in a microwave safe bowl. Put it in the microwave for about 30 to 45 seconds depending on the power of your microwave. Might take a couple times to know what's the perfect amount. Okay, when you pull the cream cheese and mozzarella mixture out of the microwave, it should incorporate pretty easily. If it still doesn't seem like it's really mixing easily for you, it might need a few more seconds in the microwave, which mine actually does. Okay, it's pretty well incorporated now. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees and line a very large cookie sheet or baking pan with parchment paper. The parchment paper for Fathead pizza is non-negotiable. You absolutely have to use it or it will stick to the pan like crazy. It has eggs, it has cheese, it has all of the makings of ruining your pan. So don't skip the parchment paper. I actually like to buy mine from a restaurant supply store because they sell it in a big pack with pre-cut sheets that are about the same size of a very large cookie sheet. Okay, so once the cheese mixture is mixed up, it should look something like that. Now you can add the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to add the egg. It's 2 eggs. I am going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of vinegar, give or take. I don't know what the vinegar does to the texture, but I've done it without the vinegar and I noticed a difference. So I added the eggs and the vinegar into the dough mixture, which is really just your cream cheese and mozzarella mixture. And then I'm going to add that into a bowl that contains the almond flour, all of my seasonings, and that's it. I'm gonna mix it together until a dough forms, and then I'll show you what it should look like. Once it is all mixed up, it should look something like this. Every once in a while, I've used these measurements and I feel like the dough is a little bit wet. It just happens sometimes if you've got like a larger egg or, you know, maybe you didn't nuke the cheese mixture quite enough. So sometimes I add a little bit of extra almond flour just to make sure that it is a dough consistency. So I'm gonna stir this up and get it on the pan. Okay, the next part is tedious. This is basically where you take the dough, put it in the center of the baking pan, and I like to use a rubber spatula dipped in olive oil to slowly push the dough out around the pan. I'm gonna try to show you as much as I can without it being a ridiculously long video. This one's supposed to be quick. And let's see if you have any questions. You can also olive oil your hands if you'd prefer to use your hands to press it out. Hey, Sancho. Hey, pup. Okay, I have a trade secret here for you. Smushing out a fathead dough that's this large is a giant pain in the neck. I don't even want to lie to you. So what I went ahead and did is I added a little bit of olive oil to the top of the fathead crust. Then I put a layer of parchment paper on top of the dough. I went ahead and pressed it out to be as even as possible. And then I will hopefully peel off this layer of parchment paper, and it will be pretty even all the way through. Okay, next you're gonna take a fork right before it goes in the oven, and you are going to basically poke holes or score the entire fathead dough. So this is a little time consuming because you really need to cover all of the territory. I basically just go through in like an up and down motion and score the whole thing right before it goes in the oven. All right guys, this is about to go in a 400-degree oven. I check it at 12 minutes, but sometimes it takes more like 15. You want to pull it out when it's got a nice golden color to it, but isn't burnt. I just pulled it out of the oven, and it looks beautiful. There will be a couple spots where maybe it got a little too thin, and you'll see like you've got some spots that maybe look a little bit burnt, but once you throw, Dan's salivating, once you throw the toppings on it, you won't even notice that. So that's what's next. I'm gonna throw on some toppings and then it's gonna go back in the oven. These are going to be the toppings for our fathead pizza. That's my homemade marinara sauce. I'll link the video to making that down below. And we have pepperonis, a little bit of ricotta cheese, and a whole lot of mozzarella. Once you get all the toppings on the pizza, it's a little time consuming and it's a bit of an art, so put on what you like. We did my homemade marinara, ricotta, lots of mozzarella, and lots of pepperoni, some Parmesan cheese. It's gonna be so good. Dan's here.
Hello.
It's Dan.
I look terrible.
Dan, you look messy.
I look terrible.
Rough day. Get out of here. Okay, so I'll show you the pizza when it comes out of the oven, and then we're gonna pig out.
Sweet, bro.
Look what just came out of the oven. It looks absolutely beautiful and smells amazing. Do yourself a favor and use the homemade marinara. It really does make such a difference in the flavor and the carb count. That's it. Seems like a lot of steps, but they're actually pretty easy steps, and it's worth it. If you are craving pizza and you absolutely have to have it, this is gonna be the absolute closest thing to the real pizza that you could possibly get. This recipe that I use comes from thedietdoctor.com. I will actually put a link for that down below. I add seasonings to the mixture, and I use a little bit more cream cheese than their recipe calls for, but it's almost identical. Enjoy it. Let me know how it goes.